Well, hey y'all, I am taking advantage of the fact that my kids are not here at the moment and I'm off of work, which is a rare occasion, but at the same time, I'm taking advantage to begin the process because, of course, tomorrow is Sunday and, well, when I'm recording this video, obviously, I want to have hot dogs for lunch. Now, this is not your typical chili dog, Chicago dog, or New York style dog. I don't even know what all kinds that there are. I know that there's lots of hot dogs in American cuisine, American cooking, American kitchens, whatever that you call it. There's lots of types of hot dogs, but I am going to do the Mexican style hot dog. I will admit, before I started to date a Mexican, which of course the ex was the one that I was dating when I found out about Mexican hot dogs, but at the same time, until I started dating him, I didn't even know that Mexicans really even ate hot dogs as a part of a cultural diet. I didn't think that it was part of the Mexican cuisine at all. But as I showed in the red spaghetti, they use it in that, but also they have their own style hot dogs. And right now I'm going to begin the prep work because it's not that detailed, but at the same time, it's something that I don't want to have to take time to do tomorrow. So here we go. As you can see, I have a few Roma tomatoes here. I actually have over there a few vines, what is it called? The vine ripened tomatoes, something like that, that they still are attached when you get it from the store because they didn't have any extra Roma tomatoes. But what I generally use is Roma. Nothing wrong with the other ones if that's what you've got on hand, okay? But this, you want to slice very, very, very thinly. This is a finely diced tomato. Here we go. Trying to do this, and I think I might need to sharpen my knife before I keep recording. But in the meantime, here we go. We want it very finely sliced. Okay, let's see if you can see this very well. Each slice is very, very, very thin. Okay? You want it very finely diced. Okay? I don't know why, but this is the way I was learned. And this is one of the very few things that you dice everything so very finely. Definitely with hot dogs. Okay. So now I've just got my little dish prepared, which of course has got a lid over here. So I can leave these in the refrigerator and they'll be just fine and ready to go just as soon as everything else is ready. Here we go with this. It's very finely diced. And as you can see, I have never been the super quick cutter. Never have been able to do that. So you will never find me on any of those cooking shows or anything like that on the food channel. But I can say that I have learned quite a bit from them. And it would be wonderful if someday if I could meet somebody off of there. But at the same time, if it never happens, I'm happy to cook for those that I love and that I know are going to enjoy my cooking, because I said ever since I can remember that I love to cook, and even more so when I know people are going to enjoy it with gusto. So here we go. We have one tomato finely diced, which I'm going to finish this tomato and then I will come back with the very next part. Next step in this process is onion. Now of course here in the South, onion is nothing new on hot dogs, but it will have a twist, okay? Give me just a few moments. I'm going to start to get this a little bit more ready to cut, if that's a good way of saying it. This is also sliced, diced very thin. Same as that tomato. As thinly as you can get away with. Now, since it's going to be long story, I have a method to my madness, if you could call it that. And this is how I'm just going to chop it. And then, of course, I've got that bowl right there. So I'm going to try to make sure Like I said, same deal. You're going to have this cut up, okay? It's going to be very finely diced, and I will fill this bowl up pretty much. This is because I'm planning to take these hot dogs probably with me for my dinner for a couple of evenings this week. So I want it to be more than just for me and my boys tomorrow afternoon. So therefore, it's got to be a little bit more, if that makes sense. I'm sure it should. So I'm going to pretty much fill this bowl. As you can see, I've already got this bowl pretty much filled with the tomato. And this one is going to be filled with the onion before I am done. And I will be back once that's done. As you can see, I have my onion. It is generally full. It's still probably got a little space that it could fill up, but it's getting late, so I don't want to step too late. And I figure if I need any more onion during the week, it's not a problem. I can cut some up real quick before I head to work. So that's not a big deal. Here comes the last step of, you could call it, the prep work. Limes. Of course, per typical Mexican household, you almost can't have much food without lime juice. So I'm going to take this and roll this on here. This is especially for if you don't have any kind of lime squeeze, lemon squeeze, whatever you want to call it, something that is going to be kind of like a juicer. If you don't have one, you want to roll it and push down hard on it as you roll. That will help to get it so that once you slice it open, it will be a whole lot easier to squeeze the juice out. If you do have a squeezer, juicer, whatever you want to call it, absolutely, which that's what I'm going to be doing. They sell them pretty much almost anywhere. I'm pretty sure that they even sell them at local grocery stores here. So I'm sure that probably in most areas you can find them. Just slice it open. Oh, by the way, side to side. You do not want it from top to bottom. It will not squeeze the same. I remember that when I was first married, I did not do it. I was innocent in that particular day, but someone in the household had cut it, if you could call it, vertically rather than horizontally, and everybody thought that it was me because I didn't know much about the Mexican kitchen, and I was like, no, I didn't do it. So somebody did it, and so I will just tell y'all, based on whoever else's mistake, because I don't think that I ever really knew who might have done it. So based on whoever else's mistake, feel free to learn from their error. You're just going to kind of squeeze it until you can definitely see a good bit of it. You want to marinate in this lime juice. This is one of the reasons, not the only reason by far, but one of the reasons that I wanted to do this tonight, so that I could have some time. Most times that I've done hot dogs, though, being honest, I will do this and then I'll start the rest of the work. It doesn't necessarily have to be hours before. I just like to do this before I start to do the hot dogs themselves, cooking them up. So I'm going to get, I think, probably just a little bit more lime juice. Let me see about where we're at. Yeah, we still need a little bit more. It's not bad where it's at, but especially since this is a taller bowl rather than a wider bowl, I need for it to be a little bit more in there so that it can reach more of the tomato, more of the lime, more of the onion. And just like the other one, also while I'm thinking about it, I can tell you that what I learned from my sister-in-law as far as for picking limes, when you're at the store, I always definitely still feel them. If they feel soft, they're going to be more juicy. They definitely will. So you want something that's soft, but also typically the ones that are more smooth on the skin. I don't know if you can see it very easily. I'm trying to make it where that the light will show it. It's pretty smooth skin. Those tend to have more juice in it. But I still definitely, sometimes it will still be hard, but it will be smooth. Kind of like this one right here. It'll be smooth, but this one is very supple. But sometimes it'll be hard. It'll just have a lot of juice, but it's just not, it's not as easy to get out, okay? So you're going to have to squeeze harder for whatever reason. But this one is already very, very, very soft to the touch. So there we go with that. I'm going to check this juice level. Oh yeah, I can already see it. We're good. Let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see it at all in the camera, but it's like right there. Let's see. You could probably see it by there. I can't tell for sure. I'm having a hard time with the angle. There you go. Alright, now obviously that's going to have plenty of time to marinate overnight in the refrigerator, and tomorrow while we're in church, and then tomorrow once we get home, it'll just be time to cook the things and get them served. It's really, it probably appears a lot longer process than what it actually is. So I hope that you're going to enjoy this, and I will see you, even though it's going to be within a couple of seconds here in the video, but I will see y'all tomorrow. Okay, so obviously I'm back, and obviously it is Sunday afternoon for me, and I'm getting ready to finish up these hot dogs, and I'm excited because this is where I guess you can say the good stuff really starts, because if you don't like bacon, this is not for you, but everything's better with bacon except for ice cream. So, but anyways, yes, hot dogs are wrapped with bacon for Mexicans, so we're going to get on that. Here we have our hot dogs. Obviously, if you don't like hot dogs, obviously this is not the recipe for you. But you're going to want to start, I'm going to try to make this as easy for you to see. Start at an angle, okay? An angle away, or let's see, an angle putting that bacon onto the hot dog, which actually I think I'm going to put that up a little bit. Let me see if I can't make it as kind of almost, because this is that thick sliced bacon. So I'm making it as easy for y'all to see as I can. And then I'm going to just kind of wrap it around there. Let's see, where did it get wrong? I don't know. And it doesn't really much matter. Here we go. Now, what you want to do is make sure that you wrap that bacon up over the beginning spot so it's not going to come undone. And then when you put it onto the griddle, you're going to put it down on the side where it's closed up, okay? And I'm going to do that for all of these. Here we go. Getting that to wrap around. I want to start it up at the very top. Obviously, if you have thinner sliced bacon, it will be I probably maybe should have gotten this thinner sliced bacon, but it is what it is, right? I like thick sliced bacon. Putting it at an angle, hopefully y'all can see that. And then, like I said, putting it around that part at the very beginning. I'm kind of overlaying it just a teeny bit. And then I'm going to lay it down on the part where it would be most likely to open up, because it's going to cook itself into that position. Now, I would pause the video, but I will likely fast forward through quite a bit of this because it's the same thing repetitively. Here I've got all the hot dogs that I'm going to be cooking for right now. I've got a few more that still need to get wrapped, but I don't have the bacon for it at the moment. So I'll need to get it out the freezer. But, you know, hey, that's okay. I've got these here on the griddle. I will be checking them momentarily to see if they're brown on one side, which of course, obviously, you're not going to have just one side and say it's cooked. You're going to cook it on, you could say, 4 sides typically. So you're just going to keep, you know, turning them, but obviously waiting as much as is possible till it's cooked on one side and then turning it towards the next side. I'm thinking that it's probably about ready to flip. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so the next part that you want to do is the side that is going to keep that fold to keep it going. So I'm going to take this hot dog. It looks pretty okay. It probably needs to cook a teeny bit more on that side, which that's the one issue with this griddle, that it can be not as helpful, but it is what it is, right? Because it's going to have the areas that it's going to be a little bit more hot. That's not too bad, okay? But I'm going to still let it cook for another minute or two, make sure that that part stays cooked right where it is, okay? The next one, shoot, it come undone. Which that's not the first time that that's ever happened to me. So I'm going to just kind of keep it there on that side just to make sure that it cooks and cooks itself into that spot. Stays where it's supposed to be, okay? So we're getting there. It's coming. While this is cooking, the one thing that I was going to mention really quickly is that I have done these on the stove and I've done these on this particular griddle. I prefer to do them on a griddle, but at the same time you can definitely check, see if you like to grill. Absolutely, take them and put them on the grill. I'm not confident enough with my grill yet to be able to show you how to do anything on it. I know that I've had a few things turn out well, but I don't know if it's not beginner's luck, because everybody that dealt with the grill while I was with the ex was either the ex or his dad. So I am still pretty new with the grill. So, but if you want to take these and put them on a grill, absolutely have at. I just prefer to do them with a griddle. Well, this one is pretty much ready, I will say. It's not perfect, but it's definitely well cooked. Well, that side may need a teeny little bit more. I think it'll probably be good in another 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm just noticing that this side still needs to get cooked on this one. So I'm going to put that there. Some of these hot dogs, especially as they become more cooked, they become more like lunar shaped. And so then you want to keep them somewhere that's going to keep them on the side that you want them to cook on. Which is why I've got them exactly where they're at right now. This one is starting to look okay. It's still got a little bit to go on that side. This one's still got a little bit to go. We're getting there. But like I said, it's in the works. It's coming. As you can see, that one's pretty much done. So we're getting there. They're starting to get cooked. Obviously, you're going to want these cooked to the amount of cooked bacon that you want. Of course, the hot dogs will be done well before the bacon is. So it's just however you like your bacon, absolutely get it to that point as much as is possible. Some of these are a little bit more browned or toasted or whatever you want to call it than I would typically eat it. But you know what? I am not complaining, because even burnt bacon's good sometimes. No, but it's actually, this one's still got a teeny little bit to go. It's almost there. And as you can see, I've got some hot dogs already over here on the napkin. Just going to drain some of that grease off, because for obvious reasons, you don't want it to have all that grease. It's just, even if it doesn't upset your stomach, it's not good for you. Here we go with the preparation of the hot dogs, okay? Now, I am extremely excited because Arnold decided to come out with some keto hot dog buns, because I have been doing this actually like on Ezekiel 4:9 bread, which is the kind of bread that is a little bit more diabetic friendly. I don't know what happened to that one, but anyways, I'll worry about that later. But they came out with this, and I've been doing it like on either romaine lettuce or, like I said, a diabetic friendly bread, and it's just not the same as actual hot dog buns. So I'm excited about this, and I can actually do this and show y'all how it's supposed to go. So even though these are not cut like typical hot dog buns, they are not as split in the middle. Next, what we do is either sour cream or mayonnaise or both. It depends on your particular preference. I've seen some Mexicans that did only sour cream. I've seen them that they did only mayonnaise. It is depending, and I've seen plenty that did both. So it's just depending on likes or dislikes, things like that, even, Lord forbid, but possible allergies, things like that. But yes, here we go with this. Now that that is in there, I'm going to add the hot dog. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to take some of this tomato. Kind of put that on there, however that you prefer. then the onion that has been marinated in lime juice. You don't have to add any of the lime juice. It's just there for the flavoring of the onion itself. I have not necessarily poured it onto my hot dogs, but if you prefer to, absolutely have at. Cooking is all about personal experience. So, there we go with this. Then, the typical, if you could call it, American toppings, that ketchup and mustard. Okay. And then, some Mexicans like to dab or just kind of drip a couple of drops of this habanero salsa on their hot dogs. It is just for the flavor, even though it is very spicy, so I wouldn't recommend it. If you don't like spice, don't even try it. If you like it, absolutely try it out. I don't know that I ever have, and I'm not sure if I ever will. But at the same time, it is definitely to taste, so I wanted to let y'all know that some do. So there you have it, Mexican hot dogs. And I won't say that they're probably the healthiest thing in the world, but you know, there's sometimes that you just need to just splurge. You know, there's sometimes that you need to just enjoy something just because it's enjoyable, right? I hope that this video has been helpful, that it will give you another idea on what to do. I'm a typical American. I love a chili dog like any other American. But these, I definitely love them even better than chili dogs. So I hope that if you try it, let me know how it turns out. And otherwise, have a delicious day.